So today we're gonna work on the 240, which I haven't seen personally in 2 years, and he hasn't worked on in about a year. So we're gonna see if we can get it running. It has a lot of issues right now. Last time they tried to turn it on, supposedly it did not want to, and it was fighting them very hard.
Yeah.
So,
to be honest, I don't think I've really touched the thing in probably well over a year, if not close to 2 myself. The last time we tried to turn it on was tricky. We had to basically lay on the gas to just keep the RPMs high enough to keep the car from dying at idle. And then after literally probably 2 minutes of that, it finally was able to hold idle. And then maybe it's vacuum. We have a lot of vacuum lines that I brought. We can fix stuff. Maybe it's something to do with the intake. I'm sure we can figure that out. But as far as problems with the car that precludes us from driving it today is our power steering pump is leaking like a bitch, and so it's running very dry and whining like hell every time you turn the wheel, and we don't want to burn that thing out, so we got to fix that. It's leaking from the high pressure line, which we got on AutoZone, shipped to our house the next day for like $75, which isn't bad. We're trying to fix the car for as cheap as possible. It's supposed to be like the cheapest, most budget junkyard shitbox car that can actually be kind of nice at some point, so that's the goal here. $75 will hopefully fix the high pressure line.
Now keep in mind, we bought the car for $1,200 running and driving 2 years ago during the 240 craze.
I think it was $1,500.
No, we knocked it down.
No, it was $750 a piece we paid.
No, because that was for all the paint we did afterwards.
True. That could have been.
So we bought the car for $1,200 because we offered the guy, we were like $1,200 and a case of beer. The guy didn't want a case of beer, but he said he'll do $1,200. So we went and got the car, and then proceeded to instantly after. I drove it 2 hours on back roads with no brakes, which is another thing we have to do. We have new brake pads to hopefully get the brake system back up to par. And we have brake fluid to top it off, because I think the last time we checked it was low. Hopefully we can get the brakes working so I don't have to drive an hour without brakes again, because the last time I had to do that, I didn't even touch 5th gear, because it was too fast for the car. It was too fast. I would not slow down enough. Hopefully we can get some of that going.
I hate to say, $750 vehicle purchase for me, $750 for you. I got the sheets.
No shit.
I got the sheets. So
no.
It was a $1,500 car. I think we probably both have put it, I can read the list in a minute, but a couple $100 into it just in general shit that we did. Nothing crazy, but the brakes do work. They're just really spongy. So my guess is it's probably old, worn out brake lines that are just expanded. So now when you press the brake down and it pushes the fluid, the line just expands, gives a little more than the brakes do. But we're gonna just hope that a combination of topping off the brake fluid and changing the pads out will fix that. Because a little bit more braking power would be nice. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, the high pressure power steering line, that actually stops us from driving the car. And then probably priority above that even would be the clutch right now. I guess something happened in the past year where the clutch line broke. I don't know what the issue is myself, because I haven't been down there to check it out, but something along the lines of when we push the clutch pedal in, it doesn't allow us to get into gear, I think is what's happening. Or we can't start the car because we can't press the clutch in, and I forget. But we bought a clutch master cylinder for maybe $20 from O'Reilly Auto Parts. We got a clutch line, which is a little fitting that goes to the hard lines, I believe, and that was about $10. And then clutch slave cylinder. We have 3 different versions of it just to test in case we got the wrong one or return the others, but about $10 to $15 a piece. So really pretty cheap. Got all our fluids that we're going to need for it, which is DOT3 brake fluid. That's what you use in the clutch line. So we'll top off the brake fluid, top off the clutch fluid, and then we've got our Dexron 5 ATF fluid for the power steering. And then, yeah, that's really about all the stuff we've got. So I think our order of operations in terms of what is most important to get on the road driving is clutch. So we'll probably repair that first. Maybe I'll just fuck around with that while you do something else, or we can work together. Yeah, you might just do the brakes.
Did you get fronts and rears? Or
I got fronts and rears.
Sweet.
So There's a little thing about the brakes that I haven't told you yet.
What do you mean?
We got the best kind of brake pads. Used brake pads.
what do you
So
mean?
I went to pick them up at O'Reilly yesterday, and like their whole system was down. They couldn't offer me any refunds. They couldn't do any like transactions. They were cash only. And I walked in. I'm like, I got a mobile order, or not mobile order, but like an online order to pick up. And they're like, okay. And they had like one thing. They had like the rear brakes. I think they put on the table. And I'm like, all right. So let me look at these. I'm like, these are the rear pads. I'm like, do you have like the rest of the order? And then it took them a few minutes, and they find a bunch of stuff, and they bring out a different box than like the rear brake pad box. And like I bought the same brand. It was like Brake Best or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought out like a Bosch box. And I was like, okay, well this is a bigger box, probably the front pads. But like, why is it different? And why is the box also like half open? And the guy's like, yeah, it was a repack. And I was like, okay, interesting. And he's like, but it should be the same brand as Brake Best. They just put it in the Bosch box. I'm like, interesting. And I open it up, and there's 4 pads in there that are stuffed in with a used like orange microfiber cloth. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And the guy was like, the dude literally, when I opened the box, like, what the hell? I'm like, all right, so what's going on here? And he's like, I don't know, that's just how the box came, I guess, from the DC store. I'm like, okay, well, these pads definitely don't look new. And then I started looking at them, and honestly, they didn't really look used. The metal plating on the back had a little bit of scratching, like, but not enough that I think anybody actually ran them on their car. I think what happened was somebody probably put them on their car and realized they weren't like the right size for their car, and then took them off. But what's weird is just one of the pads, you can see a very faint circular scuff like in them from a rotor. But the other ones like all look perfectly fine. So I told them, I'm like, listen, I need pads, so I'm gonna take these, but if they don't work or like aren't for our car, I'm gonna bring them back. And anyway, it doesn't really help us today because we're gonna be like 2 hours from my house, and this store is like 5 minutes from mine. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Currently, we're driving an hour south, for 2 hours south from him, 1 hour south from me.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to do this while I'm home because I'm only home for 2 weeks. I just had my other car stolen, my black GSR, and he just totaled his WRX. Well, he didn't total it. He got hit.
I get some other moron totaled my car.
So we're really relying on today to go well because we're both not doing too great car-wise. We're just not having a great time. So we're hoping that this can make us feel better. I'm just trying to cope right now, but we got the new wheels. Everything's kind of lining up to go all right. I got the new wheels and tires as soon as I landed yesterday. He got the parts last night. Same day his car got totaled. So things are lining up. It's just about if we can get it all together. It's currently 9 a.m. right now. I'm hoping we can get on the road before nightfall because I have no clue if the lights work on it anymore. The sooner we get up here, the better. Because at least if we can get it from down there, we can do the work a little easier. It's going to be at my house. My parents will store it in the back for me since I'm going to be away for the military. But they said they'd store it. It'll be easier to access. And a lot easier for him to access, too, if he wants to touch it. He just has to shoot him a call and let him know what's up. And they always come around the area anyway, so it's more likely that it'll actually get some attention for once. But inevitably, we're going to try, and my goal for the next few days that I'm here is to try and get registerable, pass an inspection and get registered, which we'll see if that happens. I'll show a walk around of the car, we'll point it out, and you guys will see if that is going to be possible. So let us know if you guys think that's something that might happen based on what you see later on. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd like to hope high for that because I am really in a bad state of mind after getting my car stolen.
Registration and inspection challenge level impossible.
Yeah, we'll see
That's
what
something
happens.
we should mention too. You mentioned you got the new wheels and tires. I don't know if that's been in your video already, but the current wheels on the car are like so dog shit. Like the ones in the front are probably like 16-inch, but like the tire sidewall, I'm getting blocked out by the sun. The tire sidewall is maybe like this thin, and then they run flat all the time. And then the back tires are probably like 20-inch wheels, and then they have like this fat of like a tire sidewall. But it's
rubs hardcore in the back.
It rubs against the inner fender, like just sitting. So we picked up, well, you picked up technically a set of 2008 or 9 Nissan Sentra wheels.
2004 to 2006.
Right.
Just because of the bolt pattern.
04 to 06 Nissan Sentra wheels.
Good tires, good tread. They're 17s.
They look pretty sweet for what they are.
They might look good on the car.
250 bucks. So that's another contribution to the 240 fund, but I think that's a fair price for what we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping by today's end, we can get the car back home so I can sleep in my bed after driving that car. And it's going to be a well fought victory. I told the boys I might be on the game tonight. I have no idea if that's in the cards right now. That might not even be in the cards, but we're going to see. So we'll catch you guys there. Like I said, we'll do a walk around. We'll catch you guys there.
We have our foster parent Miko right here. He has been storing this bad boy next to the garage at his apartment for the past year and a half probably. But it's time for her to go. We got to get this bad boy home. So what we got is a KA24DE from a 91 swapped into the 90 chassis. This thing is horribly rusted, but we kind of repaired some stuff before. Yeah, it's not too bad. We bought this for $1,500, $750 a piece. Me and Josh co-own it. About 2 years ago, we bought it in January of 23, I think, and we had it running. Everything kind of worked decently despite its cosmetic appearance, but since then we've had this high pressure power steering hose has began to leak. I forget exactly where it is, but I think it's actually down here someplace. We'll figure that out after, but high pressure power steering hose been leaking right here, in here I believe actually. So we got that for about $75, $80 from AutoZone that we got thrown on here. Clutch master cylinder, clutch line, there's a flexible line somewhere, and then the clutch slave cylinder down on the transmission. We got all of that for about $40, I would say. These wheels are garbage. They're super thin tread and mismatching and pretty ugly, and the back ones are huge tread or huge sidewall, and it rubs against the fenders all the time, or the wheel wells. So we picked up a new set of wheels for that for $250. So what we got here are 04 to 06 Nissan Sentra SER wheels, I believe. Picked them up for $250. Tread's good. They're 17x7s. They have the 4-lug bolt pattern, so it should work good. All right. So we're not even 30 seconds in, and we already have to start getting creative here. So this thing's brakes seem to be all seized up. Josh, give it a push. It ain't going anywhere.
Dude,
she is seized to hell and back. So we've got a little strap action to the truck. We'll see what happens. I'm not confident this strap is gonna hold up. Must always have footage of things that catastrophic. Putting her in 4 low. Alright, stop. Yeah, probably should have had someone in there.
Hey, move!
Yeah. Can you push it by hand at this point? Someone get in front so you can stop it.
Well, the brakes probably work. Yeah, probably not.
There's not really a good place.
But did we break the seizing? Did we break the seizing?
I think so. Here. I don't think the brakes work.
I'm just saying, can you push the car from the back?
Can
So
I push it
before I
Let me
unhook this
try.
thing. Miko, get ready to stop it. Yeah, we can push that now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it might have just been stuck in the dirt back here.
yeah, look at where it was down, it's all frozen.
Yeah, it's flat bottom.
Yeah. No, it's all ice down there. I was honestly expecting like a family of mice to start scattering.
Look at us, boys. We already got creative.
Liam, he's doing the last bit of the clutch system. He replaced the slave cylinder, which this is the old one. Totally missing the boot. Not really holding the fluid that good, and it's all crusty. We are in Massachusetts, so it does make sense. The new one looks a lot nicer. I'm not going to go into the car because it's kind of a pain. But now he's doing the master cylinder because that thing was bone dry and all gunky, so we're going to try and at the very least get the whole system looking all right before we top it off and waste time filling fluid into a leaky system. So all the parts are getting replaced. Brake pads look good. I'm going to clean up the rotors on this side. I already did a little bit on the other side. Honestly, just needs to get driven at this point to kind of just clean up the rest. Because this side got cleaned a little bit. We re-greased the slide pins for the brakes because the grease was all dried out. Just kind of checked everything over. Brakes on the front seem good. We did find a bad axle, but it's just the boot, the bad axle boot. This side looks like an aftermarket axle boot, so realistically it should drive fine still, but we'll see.
Look at my glass cleaner.
It's
frozen.
It's frozen.
My glass cleaner's frozen.
No. We still have to change out these wheels, check the brakes back here. Pads probably are fine, but slide pins probably same deal. Just kind of go over everything again and get her going. And she doesn't look half bad from the back. Just got to clean her up. We're going to try and make her look as least sketchy as possible so that when I do drive this thing the hour back, we don't have a problem. So we'll see. We will see. All right, so quick update on the 240. So far we've gotten the slave cylinder and master cylinder installed. So new slave and then the new master. Slave's underneath the car. I'm not gonna crawl under there because I was just under there for a while. It's fucking cold out, but we somewhat bled it to a point where the clutch feels better. It's not going straight to the floor anymore. It's not kicking back as much as we want. It's not having it's not coming back up as much as we want, but it's better than it was because it's not just going straight to the floor. It's actually coming back a little bit. Next, we're going to work on the power steering line from the pump to the pulley.
That's our oil.
It's a little black. It's fine. We can live with that.
That's our oil.
We can live with that. It has oil. That's what I'm concerned about. But essentially, we just have to fix this line right here, which has been tried to be repaired before, but we have a new one, so we're gonna get that done. We tried starting the car, but it's cold as balls, and this car hasn't been started in probably over a year, so it didn't want to crank over that hard, but it wants to. It does. It really wants to. We can tell just by how it's sounding. So we're confident that we can at least get it started today.
Josh is confident that we can get it started.
I'm confident that we can get started today. Daylight's kind of running low. It's about 2 p.m. now. We started this around 10-ish, I think.
Yeah, we probably could have worked a little faster.
I mean, granted, all things considered, we got the new wheels on the back. We have to air up one of them, but they look better. So we're going to see if we can get this done today.
All right. So we found out two things. One, battery cost $70 and we bought it, and it's probably a waste of money because, number two, the distributor was actually unplugged from the main harness. So, all right, give her a cranky poo.
Well, she's getting power now.
Give her a cranky poo.
Yeah, it's better power, right?
Yeah! Let's go! Woo! We're so back! We're so back! Whoa!
Sounds like a fucking lawnmower.
Yeah! Oh yeah. Now, can you put it in gear?
We put the hood down so I can see it. No,
No.
it's fine.
Like, don't drive it, but just...
Sure?
Well, I guess drive it. Alright, stop it. Stop it.
It goes into gear.
It goes. We're good. We're good. We're so back. Uh-oh.
This thing goes.
Yeah.
It feels good. The clutch feels good on
Does the e-brake work?
it. Yeah.
All right. So she's gonna need some air in the tires. I think it might.
Let's hustle. You know.
I think it might be losing air because that is pretty low.
That one's
So next step is we gotta bleed the power steering. So as much as it kind of sucks, we kind of have to turn the wheel side to side. Hold on, don't do it yet.
All right, so amazing update. The car runs. Now I have to drive it the hour back. We are out of daylight, but all the lights work. We verified, so that's a good start. We even have a working gauge cluster, which is crazy. I don't know if the speedo works, but the RPMs work, the temp gauge works, and it looks like our fuel gauge works. I don't know how well, but they work. The jingle also works, and I'm hoping that air will start coming through here at some point. But it goes into gear. You don't have a problem getting it in gear. She runs pretty smooth. Idling for about 15 minutes now while we've been tying up some other loose ends. But here we go. We got the center console back in as well, and then the back seats are going to be attached at some point when we clean them up. Car is pretty dirty right now, so we're probably going to wash it, if anything, but we'll see. And hopefully I won't die of hypothermia in here because it is fucking